Dhritarashtra says, assembled on the sacred field of Kurukshetra, desirous to fight, what did the sons of Pandu and Main do, O Sanjaya? The first verse of the Gita starts with the question of Dhritarashtra. He says that Dharma Kshetra has turned into a Kurukshetra. Kshetra means field. Dharma is, the English translation is righteousness. The field of Dharma has turned into, instead of saying Adharma, he is saying it's turned into a battlefield. Battlefield means wherever there is violence, wherever there is battle, wherever there is fight, it is Adharma. That which backs it is Adharma. So Dhritarashtra, the blind king, is asking. The story is Vyasa gave Sanjaya the powers to see what is happening in the battlefield and report to Dhritarashtra. And now Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya, tell me what is happening there. The word, the Sanskrit word, the text starts with the word Dharma. So one of the interpretations he says, the entire Gita is an exposition on what this word Dharma is. It is true of any education. It is true of any solution to the problem that you need to have a clarity on the concept. The law is, if you need to solve a problem, if you are trying to solve a problem, you need a concept to solve it. Minus the concept, a problem cannot be solved. Concept is always very fundamental. Concept is always very, very basic. That's where when discussion goes beyond a point, the man says, let us get back to the basics. Let us get back to the basics. And what are the basics? The basic is the concept. Therefore, every problem needs a concept to solve it. What is the concept that is going to solve the problem of life? That's what he is addressing. Every concept, every problem needs a concept to solve. Clarity is how quickly you can connect the situation that you are trying to handle and the concept. That's the clarity. That's where you say, you go to somebody, they can quickly connect the problem to the concept. You say, wow, this man has clarity. He can think so precisely, he can think. Opposite of that is, they go round and round and round. It means there is no clarity on the concept. When there is no clarity on the concept, the problems can never be solved. The most difficult aspect of the concept is, when you are discussing the concept, it always looks uninteresting, it's vague, it looks very impractical. There the mind says, we want something more practical, sir. Concept we don't. And yet the truth is, minus the concept, a problem cannot be solved. And concept doesn't run into hundreds and thousands. Concepts are always very, very simple. The problem is a situation that you are not able to handle. What is the definition of a problem? You are faced with a situation and you do not know how to face it, how to handle it, how to solve it. Supposing if the same situation, if you are able to handle it, you will not call it as a problem. Therefore, first thing, what is the definition of a problem? A situation which you are not able to handle. You do not know how to handle that situation. And then you go and ask someone who has the clarity to how he is solving that problem, by fundamentally saying there is no such problem like this. That's how he solves the problem. He doesn't say, yes, there is a problem, and then let us sit and solve it. Now the problem grows bigger and bigger. That's where you go to the man of clarity. He always breaks down the problem to a manageable level. Correct? Therefore, first definition. What is the problem? Problem is a situation that we are not able to handle. Solve. Life doesn't give problems. Life offers situations. The inability to handle that situation, the mind calls it as a problem. Life doesn't offer problems. Life only offers situation after situation after situation. Because life is a flow of experiences. Every experience that you encounter is a situation. That's all. Life only offers situations. There is no problem as such. The situation which I am not able to handle, I call it as a problem. And then to solve that problem, I need a concept. So either I can know the concept for myself, or I go to someone who knows the concept. And there is a problem in the building, I go to the engineer who knows the fundamentals of engineering. I think what? Just put up one brick after other, one brick on top of another brick, wall is built. You understand? Therefore, first thing, every problem needs a concept to solve. Gita is the concept that is going to solve the problem of life. And the concept is only one that is going to solve the problem. I will give a simple example to explain. It becomes easy. Hunger is the problem. Food is the concept that will solve the problem of hunger. Again I repeat. Hunger is the problem. Food is the concept that will solve the problem of hunger. You don't encounter food directly. You encounter infinite varieties, infinite possibilities of food you encounter. But all the infinite varieties, all the infinite possibilities comes from one concept called food. You can't go to the restaurant and say, I want food. He will ask, what do you want? No, I want food. He said, correct, everything is food. In that, what do you? Now, the food that will solve your problem of hunger will be different from the food that will solve my problem of hunger. If one man's problem of hunger is solved by muesli and cornflakes, my problem of hunger gets solved by curd rice. Correct. But then both stems from the concept called food. Similarly, the various infinite situations that we encounter in life all arises from a singular concept. And what is that concept? Don't say dharma. Don't say dharma. What is that concept? And infinite are the manifestations. Infinite are the variations of it. But all the problems get solved by clarity on one concept. What is that concept? Which is what Gita is trying to address. Which is what the Upanishads are trying to address. Which is what all enlightened masters are trying to address. What is that concept? What is that clarity? What is that singular concept? If you get a clarity upon, the problems of life gets solved. What is that? Self-realization. It's a vague concept, but you can access it. Self-realization, you cannot, there is no access to self-realization. Just as you might not, but just as, remember the same example. Food as such you don't eat, but you have access to the concept called food. Self-realization is not that, because there is no, you can't access the concept of self-realization. What is that concept? Namama. That is one variation. That is one. What will solve the problem of hunger? No, it's like saying idli will solve the problem of hunger. The answer is correct. But then that's not the only. Another man will come and say, no. Chapati can also solve. No. What is that singular concept? What is that singular concept that solves the problem? Very difficult is to say that. Perfection. Effort. All are manifestations, variations. Sorry? Tattvamasi. Adengappa. Understanding, I am not body, mind, intellect. Other than the discourse. Okay. Concept means precise. It's a sutra. It's a cryptic word. Then only it's a concept. It's a cryptic word, not a detailed explanation. Renunciation. That is one word. That is one. That's why I am saying. God alone. Ignorance. I am Paripurna. Everybody can give a discourse here. That concept which solves all the problems is called intellect. Other you can never say. You can hear it a million times, but we cannot say that, because we don't believe that is the solution. We don't believe in that. We think what? Renunciation, Namama, Tattvamasi, but we can never be precise on the concept. What is the concept? The concept is, and what is that intellect? How do you strengthen it? What are all the various ways of doing it? Is the 700 verses of. So first he says, what happens if you lack it? Arjuna's description is, what happens if you lack it? What happens if you, Krishna comes and says, what happens if you have it? So that is the concept. If you are not clear on the concept, you will be searching for solutions in the wrong areas. That's why we are searching for solutions in all the wrong areas we are searching for. The boy comes and says, I'm very hungry. What do I do? Listen to good music. Listen to good music. Or come and listen to Vedanta. The boy says, I am hungry. The concept is not clear. The hunger can be solved only through the concept of food. Then only you will go for. Then only the entire thinking process will move towards food. Seriya? And what is this blind man here? Blind to intellect. Symbolic. Dhritarashtra is blind. Straight away Sanjaya could have started. But Dhritarashtra starts the entire Gita is initiated by Dhritarashtra. A blind man. He is a blind man. That lady chose to go blind. When two blind people get together, what they will produce? What is the product of ignorance? Creating mass destruction. And Krishna has to come and say, we have to save this world from this mass destruction. You understand? If you do not have clarity on the concept, you will start looking at it from so many different things. You understand? Okay, I'll give another example. If you don't understand the concept of God, if you don't understand the concept of God clearly, what happens? It leads to various misunderstandings, misinterpretations of what God is. If you don't have a clarity on the concept of God. During independence times, during the times of independence, every house, Ipo we have it only on Independence Day. Rest of the days we don't have it. During the time of independence, every house, they say, used to have a picture of Bharat Mata, a lady, Bharat Mata, wearing white sari, holding the national flag, hands are chained. That's the Bharat Mata. You can go from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Gujarat to Meghalaya. Can you find Bharat Mata anywhere? Can you find her? Because there is no lady like that sitting anywhere. She is symbolic of something. Now what happens is, now continue. There are people who start building temples to Bharat Mata, and then there will be a cult following will start, and then suddenly someone will get up and say, I had the darshan of Bharat Mata, and everybody else will fall at his feet saying what? Oh, what a great man you are. Bharat Mata gave darshan to you and not to any one of us. And then that man also will say what? This is the favorite food for Bharat Mata. Yeah. What is the favorite food for Lord Anjaneya? Vadaya. Who decided that? God only knows. Yeah, somebody said this is the favorite food. Yeah, somebody said this is the favorite, and someone will come and say what? The favorite food for Bharat Mata is Pakistani's head. They can say that. And then what will happen? They'll start. And if you have to win the devotion of Bharat Mata, what you have to do? Sever the head up and place it at the head. It becomes a huge following where so many people start seeing Bharat Mata. In this mad crowd, one man will stand up and say, what? There is no lady called Bharat Mata. That man will be crucified. That man will be stoned to death. That man will be crucified. Why? All the misunderstandings arise because there is no clarity on the concept. You follow? As far as Bharat Mata is concerned, it is. When it talks about Bharat Mata, you will say, very correct, sir. There is no lady called Bharat Mata. At least that much you understand, no? There is no lady called Bharat Mata existing anywhere. Sir, maybe I have not seen now. Then no problem. At least that much you understand, no? There is no lady called Bharat Mata. Up to Bharat Mata you can somewhat swallow, digest. And then if he continues to say, this is your Vishnu, this is your Shiva, this is your Ganesha, you will get very angry and say, oh, you don't have any devotion. That's why you don't have any devotion. That's why you are. That's sir, Vedanta class na varave kudadu. Because they take away all devotion. No clarity on the. If you do not have the clarity on what the concept is, it leads to various. You understand? Misunderstanding means delusions. What is another misunderstanding? Is a very refined way of saying delusion. It's a delusion because the man is seeing Bharat Mata. Now what can you do to that man? That man gets up and says, I had a darshan. I spoke to her. She spoke to me. We had a wonderful conversation. And she also told me what Indians must do. But then, the man who knows the story of Bharat Mata goes to that man and says, what? The Bharat Mata that you are seeing is only the Bharat Mata that you are seeing is only a delusion. Because there is no. But to get a clarity, you don't need clarity on Bharat Mata. You need a clarity on the concept. That's where throughout the Shastras they go on reinforcing the concepts again and again and again. But we get very bored with concepts. It's like that boy asking me. He asked me 2 days back, one of the classes. He said, sir, what is the use of engineering mathematics to life? Is there any use of engineering mathematics to life? Now what can you tell that man? The answer is no. If you say no, you don't know what you are saying. The answer is yes, but you don't see engineering mathematics directly. You see a car moving. You see a building. You see a building standing. You see everything standing around you. All because of the concept called engineering mathematics. Now if you don't understand the concept of engineering mathematics, you yourself will be convinced to believe what? These are all impractical. These are all not for practical life. All this will not help. We want practical solutions. Yeah. Sir, in practical life, how do we apply? After the whole discourse of 700 verses, the man will ask, sir, in practical life, how do we apply? All that you have said till now is impractical. Say something practical. Again he starts from chapter 1. What? Dharma Kshetre, Guru Kshetre, Samaveda. We have to start all over again because the clarity is not yet on the concept. Because we are not keen on solving the problem. We only want to do a patchwork with the problem. We want to push the problem under the carpet. Yeah. Guests are all coming to the house. What do? Stuff everything in the cupboard and lock it. House looks very correct. Yeah, that's why he is giving the straight answer. The moment you open, the moment guest by mistake. Yeah, he's having experience on it. 9 years so much of experience he has. If you open the cupboard, what happens? The whole thing. Correct. We are not keen on solving it. We are so keen on hiding it. We want to hide it. Push it under the carpet. That which you hide comes back to haunt you more than anything else. It comes back to haunt you more. In the sense, the intensity of the problem goes on increasing. That which you hide comes back to haunt you more. That which you refuse to attend to comes back to haunt you more. There is a loan. Your loans are piling up. Be careful. Be careful. Someone comes and tells you. You say, "Apram paathukalam, sir. We'll see it later. We'll see it." A time comes where the loan has accumulated so much that you just can't do. Yeah. Even if you become bankrupt and 3 janmas you are put in jail also. Yeah, sometimes judgment will be given, no? 170 years of jail, 240 years of. How can you put a man who 240 years? It means for the next. Average 60 years, which are good of 4. Understand? To deal with the problem, you will have the courage to deal with the problem only when you have the clarity on the concept. That's the wise man. That's where he says, I don't have any problems at all. I don't experience any problems at all. It is a situation, but there is no problem. Ignorance fears the problem, hides the problem, wants to run away from the problem. The clarity makes you stand in front and say, let me face it, let me handle it. Now problem dissolves. Let me handle the problem. Now problem dissolves. Understand? And the intellect, which is thinking, that thinking is of 2 ways. One is, you can think everything outside of you. You can think about everything outside of you, or you can think what is happening inside of you. 2 ways of thinking. One way of thinking is, you can think about everything outside of you. Another way is to think inside of you. How much ever you think outside of you and set it right, it keeps coming back again and again and again. Why? Because the way in which you solve a problem is not solution. Because whatever you bring as a solution to solve the problem itself turns into another problem. Again I repeat, this is where you need clarity. You have a problem. You bring a solution to that problem. What happens is, over a period of time, the solution that you brought in itself turns into a problem. Maybe for this generation or maybe for the next generation. You understand? Therefore, what are you actually doing? Instead of solving problem, you replace one problem with another problem. Ramatirtha said, it's like rheumatism, he says. It's like rheumatism. It will move from one joint to another joint, but it will not leave the system. It will not leave the system, because what you think as a solution itself turns into another problem. Mullah Nasruddin woke up one day in the middle of the night. He woke up. Suddenly he became wise. He saw his wife and children sleeping. He woke them up also and said, do you know where you all came from? Imagine somebody waking up in the middle of the night and asking this question. Do you all know where you came from? The children said, keep quiet. The wife said, please talk. She fell off to sleep. He woke them up and said, do you all know where you all came from? The boy got so irritated and said, okay, tell us where we all came from. Said, you are all here because of a rat. a rat, R-A-T. You are all here because of a rat. Everybody woke up. Now, they thought, out of rat, how can suddenly wife and children come out of rat? Said, what happened? Long back, I had a problem of rat. I went and asked the wise man, how do I solve the problem of rat? He said, bring in a cat. The cat solved the problem of rat, but the cat became the problem now. The cat. Now what he has to do? He has to feed the cat so that that cat can kill the rat. Correct? Solution is correct. How to feed the cat with milk now? Go to the store and buy a packet of milk. In those days, no packets of milk. So, another man said, buy a cow. So, he brought a cow so that the cow can give milk. That milk he can feed it to the cat, and that cat feeding that milk will be alive so that it can kill the. Logic is correct. Solution is correct. But actually what happened? One after the other is getting piled up. One after the other is getting piled up. And then, how to feed the cow now? Because the cow needs food, grass. So, you can't go and steal grass from the neighbor's house. So, buy a piece of land so that he can grow. Now, he has too many things to handle too. So, what he did? He brought in a lady to take care of the and fell in love with that lady, married that lady, produced the children. He said, all of you are here because of a rat. If only I had said, let the rat also exist, I will also exist. No? You understand that? Very, very important is to know how to solve a problem, not replace it with another problem. That's where you need clarity. And that clarity comes from the concept called intellect. And the clarity comes from the concept called intellect. You follow? Otherwise, what you think as a solution to the problem itself turns into another problem. We all had a problem of hunger, starvation. Food supply was less. And when the man discovered fertilizer, we awarded him Nobel Prize, thinking that it has solved the problem of hunger. Now what has happened? That fertilizer itself has turned into another problem. Now we say go back to no fertilizer, organic stuff. I am not saying you should go or you shouldn't go. What we think as a solution to the problem itself turns into another problem if the thinking is directed outside, external, extroverted. There is another way of thinking. What is another way of thinking? Is to think what is happening inside. Is to think what is happening inside. Refuse to look into the world. Let the world take care of itself. I am not bothered about the world. Let me worry about what is happening inside. The same thinking from the external, it turns from outward, it turns inward. From external, it turns internal. From extrovert, it turns introvert. That is dharma. That thinking from extrovert to introvert. If that thinking from extrovert to introvert didn't happen, what will happen? That dharma kshetra turns into a Kurukshetra. That's what has happened, he says. That Dharma Kshetra has turned into a Kurukshetra. There is the town called Kurukshetra, no? There is a town somewhere near Haryana. I don't know where it is. Somewhere that there is a town called. You understand? What you think as a solution to a problem itself turns into another problem. A time comes where, if you carefully analyze where you started and where you ended, that's where he says you lack clarity. He says, the wise man says, the enlightened man says, you don't have clarity, because where you started, he started to solve the problem of rat, and where he ended, family court now, fighting is a heartbreak. Therefore, the concept of intellect, lack of intellect will turn Dharma Kshetra into Kurukshetra. Now we are working backwards. From Kurukshetra we are trying to go back to Dharma Kshetra. We are not into Dharma Kshetra now. The Dharma Kshetra has turned into a Kurukshetra. Now work backwards. How to turn that Kurukshetra back into Dharma Kshetra is the Gita. What is the concept that is going to help you to turn Kurukshetra into Dharma Kshetra? The concept? Don't say God, self-realization. Concept? Intellect. Correct. The concept? That's where it's very symbolic of a blind man starting the discourse. Very symbolic of a blind man initiating the dialogue. All problem is because blind man wants to see through the eyes of another. Instead of asking Vyasa, give me the vision to me directly, blind man is wanting to see through the eyes of other. Wise man says, why do you have to look through the eyes of other? Develop your own eyesight. Correct. That's what we are attempting here. The attempt here is not to see through the eyes of Sanjaya. See through your own. But then that needs effort, no? That needs effort. See through the eyes of others is so easy because he has done all the effort. All that you have to do is what? Simply go and borrow his vision. What will happen? Nothing will happen. As soon as you leave, that's what he says, it disappears as fast as it appears, because we are satisfied with borrowing. Dhritarashtra also borrowing. We are also, we borrow from bank, he borrows from blind man's curiosity. Number one. Number two, it is in his power, it is in his control to stop the entire war. Even now it is in his control. But that man cannot exercise that. Why he cannot exercise that? He is incapacitated to exercise that control. He is incapacitated to exercise that control. He is incapacitated. What made him incapacitated is the attachment. But the truth is he is incapacitated. Intellect brings the capacity. And what is intellect? 700 verses. Oh, Idan Gita was. This Gita and then we wouldn't have. Commonly, we thought Gita means something Yes, this is what we have been hearing for. We have been hearing for ages, so long. Again from tomorrow we are going to. Again from tomorrow also we are going to listen to the. Verse number 2.
Sanjaya uvacha Rashvatu Pandavanikam Yuham Duryodhanastada Acharya Upasangamya Raja Vachanamabrabhi Sanjaya uvacha Rashvatu Pandavanikam Yuham Duryodhanastada Acharya Upasangamya Raja Vachanamabrabhi.
Sanjaya said, indeed, having seen the army of the Pandavas arrayed in battle, King Duryodhana approached the teacher and spoke these words. He approached the teacher. Who's the teacher? Dronacharya. He goes to the teacher, Dronacharya. That's how the Gita starts. Verses 2 to 11, the topic is titled Duryodhana betrays his vanity and fear. Duryodhana exposes his vanity and fear. Instead of Duryodhana, replace it with ignorance. It becomes easy to, because Duryodhana, you will be so carried away by the story of Duryodhana, you will miss the concept. You will forget the concept. So replace the word Duryodhana with what is the manifestation of ignorance? How ignorance manifests? Either as arrogance or, in fact, both. Always ignorance has its manifestation of arrogance and fear. Arrogance and fear. That's what he says. The second topic is titled verses 2 to 11. Topic 2. Duryodhana betrays his vanity and fear. Duryodhana goes to Dronacharya and says whatever he is going to say. See, from now on we can just read through the verses, because there is not much of. He is only saying he is here, names and all he is going to give. Not much to discuss in the names. Adala Harikatha discussion. Yeah. What is the name? What is the story behind it? We are not going to discuss all that. We quickly read through the portions. But wherever there is a concept, make a note of it. What is it? Ignorance expresses as fear and vanity. Ignorance always expresses as fear and he goes to Dronacharya. Dronacharya is the combined teacher, the common teacher of the royal family. He taught the Kauravas, he taught the Pandavas, the ideal teacher. Dronacharya is the ideal teacher. When he goes to teacher, he goes with that arrogance. Duryodhana goes to teacher with that arrogance. That's what he says. Instead of going with Samitpani Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam, how the student goes to the teacher. Mundaka Upanishad says how the student goes to the Samitpani with attitude of bowing down. He goes to the teacher. Here, ignorance. How ignorance approaches the teacher? Vanity. What is the vanity? The vanity is, what is ignorance? I know. Ignorance is nothing but, the definition of ignorance is what? In the areas of where you don't know, something in you tells you know. Number one. Number two, not only you think you know, in a jiffy you can understand everything. That's where the doctor gives the prescription medicine. The doctor says take 5 medicines. The boy comes out of the room, doesn't even get into the car, sits outside the doctor's room, immediately starts Google. Immediately starts Google. Sees about all the, reads what all the medicines, throws the medicine in the bin and walks out. That knowledge, instead of helping him to cure the disease, what the knowledge has done to him? What the knowledge has done to him? Worsened the disease. Why? Because to understand that, you need to go through a systematic process of study. You just can't read one article and understand. But ignorance makes you to believe what? Ignorance makes you to believe you can. Therefore what happens? All your knowing ends up in, that's the last topic. All the knowing, what happens? Puts down his bow and arrow, sits in despondency, crying. All the knowledge that a human being has leads to what? Leads to despondency. This is the starting point. End point you connect it to the how he goes. How he goes? He goes with that pride. What is that pride? The pride of being a king. Acharya means teacher. How should you go to the teacher? With reverence. What is the reverence? I don't know. He knows. Raja Duryodhana is going to the teacher to give him a discourse on what he should do. Yeah, that's ignorance. Yeah. Raja Duryodhana, he is going to the teacher of Dronacharya, going to tell him what he should do. Arjuna also is going to continue the same train. Only difference is what? Verse 6 and 7 of chapter 2, Arjuna surrenders. Arjuna also continues in the same train of thought. But what he does, somewhere down the line he changes track and he says, I surrender. Sishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. I am your Sishya. Please take me as your. Duryodhana there is standing as a soldier, and there are superior soldiers than Duryodhana himself on the battlefield. But he has that ignorance betrays fear, and both create agitations. Man of arrogance is also in agitations. Man of fear also remains in agitation. Duryodhana is so agitated now and goes and tells the teacher, Duryodhana. One note you need to make is chapter 1 is full of psychological implications. It's not direct, it's full of psychological implications. You need to derive it. You need to know how to. What is the implication? He only says Duryodhana, Raja Duryodhana goes to Acharya. That's the word he uses. That's all he uses. A psychological implication. Who's the Raja? The king. The king means, king is very symbolic of vanity. Acharya is the teacher. Acharya always symbolizes, in the presence of Acharya, the thought of Acharya, what emotion gets evoked in you? Humility. So Acharya nale humility. Teacher means humility, because the very thought of teacher, maybe the presence or the thought, doesn't matter, but the very mention of Acharya, the very mention of teacher, the very presence of the teacher evokes an emotion. What? One of humility. Therefore, it's symbolic. King na, immediately you see that man walking with that, wearing that crown full of thorns. Yeah. Crown made of thorns. What are the thorns? Vanity and fear. Verse number 3.
आचार्यमहतीं चमून् योधां द्रुपदपुत्रेण तव शिष्येण धीमता पश्यैतां पाण्डुपुत्राणाम् आचार्यमहतीं चमून् योधां द्रुपदपुत्रेण तव शिष्येण धीमता.
Behold, O teacher, the mighty army of the sons of Pandu, arrayed for battle by the son of Drupada, your wise disciple. Such a contempt he has for? Such a contempt he has for whom? For whom? Don't say Drishtadyumna, on Dronacharya for having taught Drishtadyumna. That's the implication. Look at your wise disciple, na? What does it mean? Look at your students, na? What does it mean? Are you commenting on the student or are you commenting on the teacher? Whom are you commenting upon? You are commenting on the teacher, no? That's what he says. Psychological implication. So beautiful is this. Your wise disciple. Why he has such a contempt for Dronacharya is because for this you need to know the story. You need to know the story. Dronacharya is the ideal teacher. Even today, the best poachers are given. Government of India gives an award called Dronacharya Award. No, for the best coaches, it's called Dronacharya Award. Why Dronacharya? He is the best. He is the best teacher. Why he is known as the best teacher? For him to have taught Drishtadyumna. Why Drishtadyumna? Drupada was humiliated by Dronacharya. Drupada was humiliated by Dronacharya. Humiliated in the sense because he was living in such a arrogance. Dronacharya had no intention of humiliating anybody. If the teacher humiliates you, it is for your good. He has no intention of hurting. That's where if a Buddha gets angry at you, you should feel blessed, because in that anger lies your progress, salvation. No. Therefore, Dronacharya, with all love and affection, humiliated Drupada, which he could not understand. Therefore, what he did lot of penance, tapas. Shiva came, what do you want? He said, I want a boy, I want a girl. I want a boy, I want a girl. Girl to marry the Pandavas, Arjuna. The boy to kill Dronacharya. That's the story. Shiva said, granted, he left. Drishtadyumna came, Draupadi came. Both are son and daughter of Drupada. Daughter of Drupada is Draupadi. Son of Drupada, Drishtadyumna. And the whole world knew, it's not a secret, please understand. It's not a secret between Shiva and... It's not a secret between Shiva and Drupada. It's known to everyone. And that Drishtadyumna, Drupada brings to Dronacharya and says, teach him archery. If Dronacharya was really wise, what he should have done? What he should have done? Ennamari teacher anda, I would have done that. You are born to kill me and you want to come and learn from me how to kill me. Dronacharya accepted him and taught him, knowing fully well that one day this man is going to come and kill me. What amount of integrity and faith he has upon himself, not on Drishtadyumna. What amount of, all that he is saying is what I will teach. Now what you want to do with your teaching is your problem, Drishtadyumna. My job is to, you have come to me for learning, I will teach you. Now with this teaching, what you want to do is great is this man, Dronacharya. And that wise disciple, Drishtadyumna, is the commander-in-chief of Pandava army, ready to kill Dronacharya and the rest of the Pandavas. Duryodhana, knowing all this background, is going and telling Dronacharya, what? Look at your wise disciple, Drishtadyumna. He is there, standing as the commander-in-chief of Pandava army, all because of your correct. In effect, that's what he is saying. In effect, that's what he is, such a contempt he is having for the teacher and the contempt he has for the disciple also. And who is that Drishtadyumna? Who is that Drishtadyumna? All studied under the same time, under the same teacher. But that man could not stand. Why he could not stand? Why he is not able to stand? Because they are interfering in his desire of wanting to. They are interfering with his desire of wanting to he wants to steal the kingdom that belongs to them. What is Duryodhana doing? He wants to possess that, he wants to steal that which belongs to the Pandavas. Krishna is saying, you can't allow him. If you want to give, you give it away. That is different. But you can't allow that man to come and steal. It means you are sleeping. Somebody picks my pocket, I am asleep. And I deserve to be picked because I am fast. In spite of having all the stalwarts in his side, Duryodhana is still fearful. Why he has that vanity? Is because of that. Second thing is, in spite of all the stalwarts on his side, who are the stalwarts? Bhavan Bhishmasya Karnasya, he is going to start. You, Bhishma, Karna, Shalya, great warriors who can never be conquered in battle. See, Bhishma can never be killed because unless he chooses to die. Same boon, Dronacharya also. Unless he chooses to put it means what? It means what? It means what? Imagine you having a choice to die. You can choose your time of death. That's absolute. That's the ultimate choice any human being can have, no? It means what? Right through in life, whatever they do, it's symbolic again. Right through in life, whatever they do, it's done out of. Again I repeat, the ultimate choice, the most freedom, the ultimate freedom that you can have is what? You can choose when to not commit suicide. There is a difference. Not committing suicide. That freedom everybody has. That's not freedom. You have that choice. It means, what is the implication there? The implication is right through the life, they live life by making choices. Right through the life they make, that's where they can choose most of us in ignorance when we live. How do we live? We don't make a choice, others decide what we have to do. Yeah, we don't decide anything. Ramatirtha says, the street dog decides your mental state, he says. He says it very bluntly. Yeah. We say very refined. Yeah. We use the language of refinement little bit here and there. Ramatirtha says, you don't decide your mental state. The street dog decides means, literally you have no. What it means is you have no choice at all. And what are the great warriors? Bhishma, Drona, Karna, extraordinary people. If you are ignorant, you can have everything with you and still you will live in fear. Symbolic again. He is having the best warriors, souls, where they cannot die. But still Duryodhana is right. What is that? Ignorance causes this. Yeah. That's where the man goes on accumulating, hoarding more, thinking that his fear will vanish. Thinking that his fear will vanish. Fear, and this has no. Fear arises out of ignorance. He can have everything and still he will live in fear. That's the world today. The world emperors who ruled the world 100 years back, if he were to come alive today, he will be very jealous of the gardener here. Correct? Because the gardener today has better facilities than the king. Even though he ruled the world, he still has to go on a horseback only, breaking his back. Correct? If he has to communicate, he still have to drum or send pigeons. Today, the gardener here, as he is speaking, he is on the own talking. The king today, if he were to come alive and look at the world, he will say, hey, heaven kuda ivlo pleasant allappa. Even the heaven that I am in is not so blissful, so better than the world of yours. How blessed you are all to live in this world. We will look at him and say, what blessed. We think you are all happy. We are more You understand that? That's all. Irrespective of whatever it is, the ignorance, if it is not attended to, it will result in fear. In spite of having everything, in spite of having the best, Duryodhana betrays fear. What is the fear? Look at the mighty Pandava army, all headed by your Sishyas. And he particularly picks on the son of Drupada. He particularly picks on Drupada. Why? Because what kind of a foolish teacher are you? See, you taught that man, and what is he doing? What is he doing to you now? What is he doing to you now? What is he doing? Ready to put that man. How can you be so dumb, Dronacharya? Even though you are a teacher, how can you be so dumb? Dronacharya looks at him, saying what? Dronacharya looks at him saying what? Duryodhana, even though it looks like we both are living in the same world, we are not living in the same world. You live in ignorance, I live in wisdom. Even though it looks like we both are living in the same world, even though it looks like we both are eating the same food, even though it looks like we both are riding the same car, Duryodhana, what you don't understand is, we both are living poles apart. You live in ignorance, I live in wisdom. When a man is living in wisdom, what fear he has? Number one. Number two, even at this point of time, if Drishtadyumna comes and tells him, please Dronacharya, teach me something, he will start teaching him. Opposite of that is what? Putting conditions. What are the conditions? What are the conditions? Ignorant man puts that condition. First condition, what? Become my slave. First condition, become my slave. Not only you should become my slave, sign up that you will not go against me also. Wise teacher says, my job is to teach, full stop. What he does with his teaching is irrelevant. That's why he is the wise teacher. And having that teacher in his army, he is worried. Who's worried? Duryodhana. One verse padusonna. Verse number 4. Here are heroes, mighty archers, equal in battle to Bhima and Arjuna. 3 names he lists out: Yuyudhana, Virata, and the Maharatha Drupada. Now what he is listing out? The best soldiers on the side of Pandavas. Anyway, those two are there, Bhima and Arjuna. Along with Bhima and Arjuna, who are all there? The profile. What are the profile? Drupada. Drupada he gives a special adjective, Maharatha. Maharatha means great warrior. See, there are incidental details about who is a Maharatha, who is a Atiratha, who is a Ratha. He is a Maharatha, means he can command X number of soldiers. It's like saying commander, wing commander, and then there are ranks, no? He is talking about those ranks, that's all. Every military has the rank, and is describing those according to the hierarchy. Who is that? Yuyudhana. Yuyudhana is Satyaki. Another name for Yuyudhana is Satyaki. Satyaki is a friend of Krishna. He is another Yadava, very close friend of Krishna. Virata. Virata is the kingdom where Pandavas lived in exile. 1 year when they have to live incognito, they took shelter in the kingdom of Virata. Very important this place, because here only Arjuna married Uttara and gave birth to Abhimanyu, and all got killed in the war. All gets killed in all the great. That's the beauty of in a war, there is no victor, there is no loser. War means destruction. If there is a fight between your left hand and right hand, surely one hand will win. Surely one hand will win. But ultimately, who is the loser? Whichever hand wins, you are the loser, no? That's where the wise one doesn't get into the battle, because the war is such a useless thing. It ultimately going to end up only in destruction. The third guy is what? Drupada. Who is Drupada? Father of Draupadi. Is Drupada, the father of Draupadi. A great hero, Kshatriya. Why he is great? Because Dronacharya and Drupada studied under the same guru. Dronacharya and Drupada studied under the same guru. Who is that guru? You know who they studied under? I also don't know. Who they studied under? Who is the guru of Dronacharya? Drupada and Dronacharya studied under the same guru. Who is their guru? Parashurama. Studied under Parashurama. What a great warrior that man has to be. And they are the best students of Dronacharya and Drupada. But poles apart. Dronacharya used the teaching in one way, Drupada used the teaching in another way. Dronacharya used the teaching to do. He was doing it so differently, and Drupada used the same teaching in a different way. But both studied under the same. Therefore, Drupada is called a great. Not only he studied under him, by himself also he is a great. He is a great warrior. First few verses, Duryodhana lists out the great heroes in the sides of the Pandavas. The next few verses, he will name the great heroes on his side. In spite of so many great heroes, I still live in fear. That's the conclusion. He is listing it out. Even though he is listing it out, the fear didn't vanish. The fear didn't go. Why? Ignorance causes fear. Ignorance causes fear. Knowledge gives courage. Knowledge gives courage. Ignorance causes fear. What is the fear? What is the fear? All human fears boil down to only one thing. What will happen to me? What will happen to that which is mine? Is there any other fear outside of this? Think. All human fears boil down to what will happen to me? What will happen to that which is mine? Wise man who doesn't have this me and mine has no fear. As long as you have something as me and mine, that which comes along with it is fear. I want to get rid of fear, but me and mineness I can't get rid of, sir. Me and mineness I want to keep, but I want to get rid of fear. That is everybody's question. Gita says, enlightened master says, you want to get rid of fear, you need to get rid of me and mine. No. Me and mine I will keep. But tell me a method by which I can get rid of fear. Yeah. What else you can give? Because it's not possible. Because that is the cause, this is the effect. If we have to get rid of this, you need to get rid of. If all human fears boil down to what? What will happen to me? What will happen to me tomorrow? Not today. Yeah. What will happen to me tomorrow? That's why we say future is secure, sir. Well settled means what? Yeah. Anybody says well settled, I get so angry, he says. Fear of what will happen to me tomorrow, or what will happen to that which I call as mine. So, but then fear is so disturbing, fear is so agitating, so the man comes and asks, how do I get rid of fear? He says, get rid of me and mine. You say, thank you. You keep your advice, I will keep my me and mineness. Now when you are keeping your me and mineness, at least have the courage to accept what? You will live in fear. At least have that courage to accept. I will live in fear. But then mind will say, no. Fear should go, but mineness should be intact. That's Duryodhana. That's what he is listing out. What are all the great? If he lists out 5 fellows in the Pandava army, he is going to list out 15 people on his side. In spite of all the listing, he says, do you think can we win this battle? It means in him he has a doubt. What? He is going to lose it. He is going to lose it. In him there is a fear. What? He might. Last, and then I conclude. When he talks about all this, never he mentions about Krishna. I used to think, why he, when he talks about everything, never he mentions about Krishna. And that man is deciding the entire. Yeah. Why he can't think of Krishna? Go back to 730. Intellect. Krishna represents that. He is there, spread everywhere, but can't see. And he mentions everybody except, if he is very wise now, what he should have said? Hey, that man Krishna is there. How do we win in spite of Krishna being there? No, that man has some. At least he is awakened to the problem. But he is saying Bhishma, Drupada, Abhimanyu, this, that, all the fellows who are useless. Who are useless. Ignorance believes in the useless things as protection. That's why he says chapter 1 is full of psychological implications. The commentary he writes, chapter 1 is full of psychological implications. Ignorance believes in all the things as protection. What are the things that ignorance believes that it's going to protect? Name, fame. He gives 7 things, no? Name, fame, power, position, wealth, status, family. Ignorance believes protection lies in all these. Why says protection lies in Abada? Protection lies in intellect, and Krishna is symbolic of that. And Arjuna cannot. Arjuna, see how he can be so blind that he can't see. Krishna. All because Krishna said, I will not fight. All because Krishna said, I will not fight. What Duryodhana could not understand is, Krishna need not take bow and arrow to fight. That is intellect. He need not take bow and arrow to fight. He knows how to run the battlefield. 2 ways of playing chess. Understand this. 2 ways of playing the game of chess. One is you respond to the move of another. The other way is you make the guy move. You make the guy move what? You want him to move. 2 ways of playing the game of chess. One is you respond to the moves of. When you are responding to the moves of another, you will lose the game. That day you know how to make the other move according to, in the way that you want. That's where they say in the game of chess, they say 27th move, the game will get over. 47th move, the game will get over. But then only 3 moves have happened. But then he knows so well what it takes, that fellow has to come like this. He has no other. So in effect, what is he doing? In effect, he is deciding when he wants to win. In effect, what is he deciding? He is deciding when he wants to win the battle. That is Krishna. And Duryodhana is so blind to ignorance, is always blind to intellect. And it will see everything else. It sees everything else, thinks that it's going to protect, and then realizes what? There is no protection, and lives in fear. He is listing out so many and forgetting Krishna. He is blind than Dhritarashtra himself. If Dhritarashtra is blind, Duryodhana is completely blind. That's correct. If there is a thing called 110% blind. Because he is there right in front and ignorance is there. The solution is there right in front and you go on missing it. And you search for it in all the wrong areas. Upanishad says, search where you lost it, he says. The Upanishad says, don't go and search in the wrong areas. Search where you lost it. The lady lost the needle in the house and she is searching on the street. That's Upanishadic story. The lady lost the needle in the house and she is searching it on the street. The man said, why are you searching it here? But lights are here. No, what do I do? You can search, but you will not find. Why? Because go to the source. What is the source? Lack of. Duryodhana sees everybody except Krishna. Contrastingly, Arjuna, when he became a disciple, didn't see everybody and saw only Krishna. That's the comparison. When Arjuna became a disciple, he stopped seeing everybody and he saw only Krishna. And Duryodhana didn't have access to Krishna. Arjuna had access to. Now we have a choice to approach Gita as Duryodhana or don't say Krishna, Arjuna. Either as Duryodhana or as Arjuna. What is Duryodhana? Use it to solve the petty problems of life. Arjuna use it to strengthen the intellect. In that concept of intellect lies the salvation. Seriya? ஸ்டோரியா இருக்கா? நல்லா இருக்குல்ல? நிறைய கதை இருக்குல்ல? இன்னும் நிறைய இருக்கு கதை. இன்னும் நிறைய கதை இருக்கு. சரியா? No solution comes. The only way to get rid of the problem of rats is what? Simple problem. And how do you solve it? You can't